What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Sports with Jake. Hope we're all doing well. Well, start off, we had one small move in MLB free agency. Griffin Canning signed with the Mets, 1 year deal of $4.2 million. He'll probably compete for a rotation spot, at least as it stands right now. I went over his numbers about 2 or so weeks ago after the Braves made that move. They acquired him from the Angels for Jorge Soler, and then none tendered them, which is a surprise. I mean, I guess they just wanted to get rid of Soler's contract. I guess, they acquired him for the second time to trade deal that after the acquisition in 4 seasons, and I guess they wanted to move him. They took it on Cannon. Cannon's the kind of guy, yeah, you look at the Braves organization, they fixed a lot of these guys who kind of, kind of stuck in a tough spot there in their career, their career kind of fiddled out. Look at Chris Sale. This guy was once one of the best pitchers in baseball. Guy had all sorts of arm problems for years, hasn't been able to stay on the field in years, hasn't been a consistently top tier star in years, and he goes to the Braves, wins his first ever Cy Young, 35 years old, crazy. They let him go. Mets brought him in. Like, look, he had a 5.9 ERA last year with the Angels. In his first time he pitched over 30 starts, but he had 4.32 in 24 starts the year before. The year before that was not good. 5.6 ERA and only 14 starts. Pitched very well in the pandemic year. Euro just under 4 and 11 starts. He pitched well that year. His rookie year, 18 starts, 4.58. So overall, 4.78 ERA in 99 career start isn't great, but I think now going in the Angels, it seems like every pitcher there just completely falls apart. The Mets have developed some sort of pitching lag. You look at Jeremy Hefner, Sean Manaea is a guy who was once a budding all-star, had kind of fallen off, turned into a really good year last year. Might be about to get a pretty big contract, hopefully from the Mets. From my sake as a fan, I do think they will re-sign him, but someone's going to give that guy probably under $20 million a year on a longer-term deal. Luis Severino looked like his career was over. At least as a starting pitcher, he had a strong year last year. He's got a $67 million deal from the Athletics. So, Jose Quintana's a guy who was much older towards the end of his career. Year before had injury plagued year with the Mets, and he had a solid year last year. I'm assuming someone's going to give him, at least a solid deal to be their fourth or fifth starter. So, even with what looked like a makeshift rotation, they were able to piece it together. You had a couple of young relievers who had very good years. Reed Garrett, a guy who was very unknown. He had a good year last year. Neil Nunez, who got hurt at the end of the year. But when he was healthy, guy no one ever heard of. He had a really strong year last year out of the bullpen for the Mets. Phil Maton, who was very bad in the playoffs, but in their regular season, they're getting acquired in a small trip for the Mets just for depth. Actually, did pitch well for them a year. I think under 2 in the regular season for the Mets. Actually, they got him, I think, toward the end of June or maybe the beginning of July. So he's definitely one of the better, I would say, one of the better pitching coaches in baseball. And it's weird. Actually, off camera, I was never a huge fan of him going into last year. It's like, you know what? I can see why he has stuck around for multiple regimes over there in Queens. But Canning to the Mets, if I guess he'll compete for a rotation spot. Starting pitching depth is very important. They're still they're still looking to reset Sean Manaea. I heard they're in on rookie Sasaki. They're looking to possibly trade for Luis Castillo in Seattle. So we'll see what happens. Still probably another big name in that rotation. But that's the move they made. Going to the NHL, another New York team. The Rangers make a move. They trade Kakko to the Sharks. Not the Sharks, but Seattle Kraken. Seattle Kraken to acquire Kakko from the Rangers. In return, they said defenseman Will Borgen, a third and a sixth round pick this year. I think it's a very good move for the Seattle Kraken. Kakko is only 23 years old, was second overall pick in the 2020 draft. Started out a little slow, had 10 goals, 23 points his first year. He was only 18, then had back-to-back injury plague year where he didn't really produce. 2023, when he was 21, he had a good year, 18 goals, 40 points that year, his best year of his career. Last year, got off to a good start, then got hurt, then kind of disappeared down the stretch, ended up with 13 goals last year in 61 games, only 19 points. This year, 4 goals, 14 points in 30 games. Overall was playing pretty well. It was on pace for right now the best year of his career, probably the second best year of his career besides 2 years ago. He was benched a few days ago. He was not happy about it. I know he's going to be a restricted free agent for the year. I know they've been trying to come to talks on an extension. They were going to have trouble doing so. You could tell he was definitely unhappy there. So they sent him away. I do not understand it from the Rangers' part. He's 23 years old. First of all, this is a Rangers team that is underperforming as much as you could possibly underperform, and they've lost 11 of their last 14 games. They're a couple points out of the playoff spot. They're just falling apart. It looks like the season's almost lost at this point. Might have to start a bit of a retooling phase. If you definitely want to try and get younger. And he's 23 years old. He's 23. He's not quite the player we just thought would draft him second overall 6 seasons ago, but he's still just 23 years old. If nothing else, he's a solid bottom six guy at his still only 23 in a year or two. Maybe when he completely fully develops, could be a solid second line center. He plays mainly right wing, but when he's played center briefly this year because of injury, he's actually played well. He's looked pretty good. So, if nothing else, he's a very solid third line wing. At his best is a solid second line wing who can play center. He's very good defensively as well. He's one of the better defensive forwards in the game. So he's a very solid player. Again, maybe not a star like I just thought he was going to be, but he's still a good player. He's overall a productive player. He makes a lot of teams slightly better by acquiring them. And you turn the guy away for Will Borgen, who this year has 2 points, 1 goal, 1 assist, and 2 points all year. The last 2 years was a little better offensively than he's been this year, but still wasn't amazing. And is not going to on the back end. Is a below average defender, one of the worst defensive defensemen in the league. Even though he doesn't score a lot either, so I don't know really what he does for you. Yes, the Rangers have been very bad defensively. Obviously, you trade Jacob Trouba, your captain, to the Anaheim Ducks a week or two ago, which wasn't all a bad move. You got rid of his whole contract. He has been very bad defensively over the last season and a quarter or so. But sure, the guy you got back in that deal is not very good. I don't think Will Borgen's going to help whatsoever. I don't understand this further on. So you got a depth defenseman. You got at best a serviceable sixth defenseman, a third and a sixth round pick for a third line wing who's only 23 years old. That is to me a stupid trade. And not really sure why the Rangers did that. And this is reason number 12. I think the Rangers need to fire general manager Chris Drury. All right, so we're gonna talk some football before we close up the show. First is power rankings heading into Week 16 of the NFL season. Again, as the others, we're gonna start from 32 and go up to 1. The worst team in the NFL right now is the Las Vegas Raiders. Good God, they are a level of incompetent I have never seen. They're on their third string quarterback, which is Desmond Ridder. Why that guy ever got shot in the NFL is insane to me. The guy is dreadful. I don't know if he would start in the UFL. Forget the NFL. That guy is horrible. The running game is horrible. Zamir White is hurt. He sucks anyway. Madison's healthy, but he isn't very good either. They were starting Sincere McCormick. Most of their starting running back the last couple of weeks. Now he's out for the season, so I think their top back is Alexander Madison. I don't even know who their running back is. Their top receiver is now Jacoby Meyer, besides the tight end Brock Bowers, obviously. Now if Max Crosby shut down for the year with surgery, I don't know if there's a single player on my defense I can even name that helps any football team. I'm sorry, Antonio Pearson, I'm not that good of a coach. Good guy, I'll keep my staff, not an NFL head coach. He fired a bunch of his staff already. It hasn't helped. They are just dreadful, beyond dreadful. Well, looks like they will get the first pick. They are right now 2-12 right now, have the first pick in the draft. At 31st is the Giants. They aren't much better. Daboll's been cycling for the quarterbacks. Since he benched Daniel Jones, of course, Jones was cut a couple days later. First it was DeVito, then he went to Drew Lock, then he went back to DeVito, then he went back to Drew Lock, then DeVito, and then DeVito got hurt, and Tim Boyle played. And now freaking they're back to Lock. I don't know what's going on there. That offense is just dysfunctional. The defense is extremely overrated. That front seven is overrated front seven I've ever seen. Brian Burns has not been great. $30 million a year for $30 million and a second and a 5 to give up Brian Burns is a massive overpay. Kayvon Thibodeau is not that great. Lawrence is great. He also complains a lot in the press conference. He's not a leader like he's supposed to be. That secondary just flat out sucks. Who's the corner they took 2 years ago? Baker or something? He's horrible. I'm sorry, he's not very good. Ain't they have what? 1 interception since week 5. Xavier McKinney, who they let walk at free agency, has 7 this year. It's the most in the league. He might be the defensive player in the NFL this year. So just beyond horrible. Shane is just absolutely garbage as a GM. They need to fire him, and Dayball probably has to go too. At 30 for the Jacksonville Jaguars, I couldn't imagine being a Jaguars fan. Like, I couldn't. Like, with the Raiders, I kind of get it. You have just nothing there. The roster is just beyond bad. You were kind of in, like, you're trying to see what you had in Pierce. But Giants, like, all right, if you're a Giant fan, depending on how old you are, you've seen that probably at least one Super Bowl. The Jaguars, oh, God. Your whole life is just being punched in the stomach over and over again. Freaking, Mac Jones is your quarterback, first of all. That's just all you need to hear. The run game isn't great. ETN is not very good. Besides Brian Thomas, one other piece on my team is just like, yeah. You're stuck with Trevor Lawrence. You gave him $207 million because I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Kirk's hurt. Engram's a pretty good tight end, but not. He's the top 10 tight end. Cool, I guess. Other than that, that defense is atrocious. The roster is atrocious. Why Trent Baalke has a job, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't. Doug Peterson's got to go too. That they are just a train wreck. At 29th, I have the Tennessee Titans. You saw Brian Callahan, like he got very upset when a report asked him if his team was soft. Called it BS. Soft is. I think it's fair. If nothing else, you're not a good football team. You're 3-11. You started Will Levis for the majority of the year. That guy is beyond atrocious. They just named Mason Rudolph a starter. Please start him the rest of the way. I cannot deal with Will Levis for more weeks watching him play. I'm not even a Titans fan. Like, just stop. I thought that Tony Pollard's nicked up. Calvin was their only true weapon. That defense. The defense is soft. I'm sorry, Brian Kelly. Your defense is freaking soft. They were the best scoring defense in the league for what, 6 weeks? And since then they've been freaking horrible. Like, your defense is soft. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Your team is horrible. At 28th was the New York Jets. Season's almost over. Willie Johnson is just going off on a limb here. Say it. Just, the stuff that's coming out about him is crazy. He might be up for a rant pretty soon. Like, tune in tomorrow. There might be a couple of rants with Chris Drury, Willie Johnson. Good God. Good Lord. Rodgers just played better, but all right. Last week you beat the freaking Jaguars. Like, oh, big whoop. Breece Hall has regressed. Devontae's been playing well. Garrett Wilson's been playing well, but it doesn't really matter. The Lions look better. Luke Michelle's playing really well. That's cool. Problem is they have the softest defense I've ever seen. Their defense is some of the softest in the Titans. I don't know how that is possible, but it is. Yeah, so that's for Jeff 20th. At 27th is New England Patriots. By the way, they need to fire Jerome Mayo. You cannot bring that guy back. They asked him in the press conference after Arizona. They were at like the 4-yard line. They had third and goal with 31, and then 4-1 from the 4 or 5-yard line against Arizona. You ran it up the middle with Ronda twice, got stuffed both times, turned the run down. The reporter asked him after the game, did you ever think to use Drake May, like, your mobile quarterback on that spot instead of Ramondre? And he goes, you said it, not me. Gerard Mayo. I have never seen a head coach handle the media as poorly as you have. There have been some bad ones. Ben McAdoo with the Giants. I wasn't always a fan of how he handled the media. Just the lack of energy yet. Oh, but Gerard Mayo. There is zero accountability with the guy. Zero. I tried to tell you. He's not an NFL head coach when you hired him. We are going to be doing this again in 2 years. And in fact, actually, I was wrong. We're going to be doing this again in less than 1 year. The guy is a joke. Look, the roster isn't very good. I get it. Drake May's a talented young quarterback, but he's still a rookie. The roster is not very good. It's one of the worst rosters in the league. But to be this uncompetitive, week in and week out, to be this much of a joke, and the lack of accountability, the things that come out of the locker room. Also, do you see the crafts in the owner's box last game? They looked just livid. At one point, they were just like, "What are you doing?" Well, they're like, "Call the play." Like, what are you doing? He is a disaster. I get it. He was a Bill guy. Bill wanted him as next head coach. When he retired, he said, I think, a bunch of years ago behind closed doors. At the same time, like you couldn't tell me that was the best case scenario. If I'm Robert Kraft, I don't know how you're looking at Mike Vrabel You don't know if he wants to be a head coach again. His feet are probably tingling like, ugh. I need to fire him. He might just fire just to hire Mike Vrabel. I won't be surprised if he calls Mike Vrabel and be like, all right, you're under contract. I get it with the Cleveland Browns right now. But if, like, let's just say hypothetically, like, I don't know, something crazy happened and, like, Gerard Mayer wasn't the head coach of the Patriots anymore. Let's just say it randomly happened. Would you be open to head coaching the team? If he says yes, the next phone call Robert Kraft is making is Gerard Mayer. Says, get into my office now. He's like, at the end of the year, you are not the head coach anymore. You're just not. He is a complete joke. 26 is the Carolina Panthers. They've been a little more competitive. Well, they weren't. They got blown out by Dallas this past week. Bryce Young overall looked a little better. Still don't have a ton of confidence in them. I mean, that defense can't stop anybody. 25th is the Cleveland Browns. They're starting Dorian Thompson-Robinson at quarterback. And why? I don't know. I mean, Jameis has not been good, but, like, Dorian Thompson-Robinson is just beyond atrocious. And then it comes out for yourself, forced to top running back. Good God. 24 was the Bears. They are just horrible. I, I told you this thing was happening with Caleb Williams. I told you. He is that this offense, and he's this bad. I'm telling you, he's a bust. He's horrible. He is not good. I told you when he drafted him. Don't do this. I tried to tell you guys, you Bears fans, all you camp troopers, I try to tell you, don't do this. And you did it. And now you're stuck with the consequences. Sorry, but not sorry. 23rd with Saints. They just suck. Your quarterback is who is it? Spencer Rattler? I don't even know. Your whole offense is hurt. Your defense just flat sucks. Their average age is probably like 62 at this point. They suck. Dallas Cowboys are at 22nd. Not good. If it Mike McCarthy, I'm not sure if I see a head coach care less this season than Mike McCarthy. He's known since like week 5 that he was so obviously not getting fired with not having his contract renewed. He's like, you know what? Yeah, he was like, you know what, guys, just go out. I don't care what you do. Just try to lose by like 40. You know, like what happened to the Lions, 47-9. If you just don't do that, and at this point, I could care less. Because he knows unless he gets to the NFC Championship game, there is no shot he comes back. At least I don't think so. Apparently, judges might bring him back. If he does, they need to drug test that man. Good God. 21st, the Colts. I don't know how they've won 6 games. I don't think Richardson's horrible. That defense is terrible. Nothing much left to say. 20th is the Miami Dolphins. McDaniels, he's got to go. He's terrible. He's not a good head coach. At some point we hit the resume. Maybe the guy isn't. He's not that guy. You know, Tyreek Hill. He's done. Honestly, I Tyreek might be done. So much stuff is going on in his personal life. He's frustrated. He had the stuff where he was arrested earlier this year before the game. Like, my goodness, I don't see that getting any better. 19th to 49ers. Now Isaac Rendell might be hurt. They're into their 4th running back. The team is depleted. Debo's cooked. Trent's out for the year, most likely. They're done. 18th for the Bengals. I mean, that offense is great. They have a lot of points. Problem is they can't stop anybody. So they're 6-8. They've been playing a little better though. 17th is the Falcons. They're a mess. Kirk Cousins another backup. Michael Penix to start. We'll see how that goes. But why is Raheem Morris the head coach there? They really looked at Raheem Morris and were like, oh, that's our guy. Look, as part of me thinks like why Bill Belichick took the North Carolina job because the NFL passed on was like, all right, after you, I'm not good enough for you. At the same time, like they didn't want to give him full power. He's clear he's not a good GM, but he's not anymore. At the same time, if I'm an 8-time Super Bowl champion and the team chose Raheem Morris over me, I'd be pretty pissed too. I'm not sure I would be pissed. I'm just laugh. I'm just like, okay, fine. Have fun with Raheem Morris and his incompetence. 16th is the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler is as overrated as he gets. Team is mediocre. But they're winning out of their division. Because the division's a lot weaker than we thought. So keep your eye out on them. 15th is the Houston Texans. Might seem a little low for a team is gonna be at least the 4th best seed in the AFC. But Stroud has taken a step back. They got so many injuries on the offensive line. Offense really hasn't played well this year. They haven't really beaten anybody. This is a fraudulent team. 14th is the Chargers. Look, they haven't beaten anybody either. That being said, this roster is worse than it was a year ago, and a year ago they won 4 games. Give Jim Harbaugh some credit. He's doing a good job. They're at 8-6. Looks like they're going to the playoffs. It's hard to ask for much more. Justin Herbert has played well overall. They also have some injuries on offense as well. 13 for the Seahawks. Overall, they're playing good football. You ran into the Packers this week. I know Geno Smith might be hurt. I'm not sure what's going on. But overall, they're playing on defense. Overall has played better. They just have some injuries on the offensive line, but they've been playing better. That offense has been playing very well. 12 is the Bucks. They're playing some good football. They're 8-6, a game ahead of Atlanta in that division. Baker has 32 touchdowns. 30 a career high. That's wow. Did not see that. They can't stop anybody, but that offense, especially in the pass game, is very good. And they got a complete steal of Bucky Irving. He's playing very well. Columbus, the Rams, again, they're playing very well. Right now in first place in their division, 8-6, because they have a tiebreaker over Seattle. Playing really well. Stafford's been playing really well. Last 2 years, first few weeks, he looked like he was done, but then second half was completely turned on with Jackson. Kind of almost turned back the clock. That offense was firing on all cylinders. They're playing better on defense. To the top 10. 10 was the Commanders. Look, the Commanders haven't beaten anybody, not a true contender, but Jane Daniels has had a great rookie year. To me, he's still the offensive rookie of the year. The defense has played well enough. That line needs a lot of work, but overall, they've definitely played a lot better than we all thought. Speaking of playing better than we all thought, Denver Broncos at 9. Bumnuts has played well for them. That defense has been absolutely phenomenal. I'm still giving Sean Payton credit, but they have played a lot better. Even the Ravens, Lamar's playing out of his mind right now. Again, why people thought him and Derrick Henry was not going to work, I have absolutely no clue. Defense has struggled this year, but still 9-5. You have a big game set against the Steelers. 7 for the Steelers. They've honestly, them being 10-4, just wow. Russell Wilson has played a lot better. G. Harris has probably had the best year of his career, at least in his rookie year. Pickens, when he's been healthy, he's been great. That defense is phenomenal. 6 was the Green Bay Packers. Drew Love's been playing really well. That offense is really good. They've been a lot better defensively. That's a really good team. They're playing some good football. 5 was the Minnesota Vikings. How they're 12-2 is insane. Sam Darnold, look, he hasn't played amazing. He's got a lot of weapons. But hey, kudos to him for at least somewhat turning his career around. He's become a pretty decent quarterback at least. The defense is playing really well. 4 was the Eagles. They're obviously won 10 in a row. Hurts, like, to me, Jalen Hurts is overrated quarterback, but he played well last week. He's playing good enough. That's a very loaded roster. See what happens in the playoffs. I still have Chiefs at 3. Mahomes is going to be fine. The 13-1, the finding ways to win games. Only lost was to the Bills. The defense is very good. Obviously, Andy Reid, you get the whole thing there. 2 is the Bills. They're rolling right now. Obviously, Josh Allen is playing absolutely out of his mind. Beyond out of his mind. Like, beyond out of his mind. And I still belong to one. I know the Bills just beat them, but still, the 12-2. 12-2, they have won 11 straight games. Dolphins played very well. Still have an incredibly good offense. A lot of injuries on defense, though. Until the last couple of weeks, they had help together. We all love Dan Campbell. That's as good of a coaching we've seen in a long time. I still think they are the best team in the National Football League. All right, time for game picks for Week 16. Thursday Night Football tonight is Broncos Chargers. I'm going to take the Broncos. I mentioned the Chargers had some injuries on offense up front. Their top back, J.K. Dobbins, is hurt. They don't have the offensive firepower. That Denver defense is very good. This should be a low-scoring game. The Broncos pull it out. 2 games on Saturday. Their first game is on NBC. Texans Chiefs. I'm going to take the Chiefs. This is the kind of game to see the Chiefs dropping, not being as overpowering as they usually are, but Texans are just a fraudulent team. They're just in a weak division. They didn't take a step forward quite that we felt, but still 9-5. But I think the Chiefs get it done. I know Mahomes might be nicked up at the ankle a lot, but he said he's going to have to go. He's going to have to go. I think the Chiefs get it done. 4:30, big game on Fox. Steelers, Ravens in Baltimore. I'm going to take the Ravens in this one. Steelers have had the Ravens number the last 2 years. Lamar has struggled against the Steelers in his career, but I'm not sure if George Pickens is going to play in this game. TJ Watt, I think he'll be fun, but he might not be 100% either. I think the Ravens will find a way to win this game. Should be a really good game, very close. I think the Ravens tie up the AFC North. If the Steelers win, they do push the AFC North. Sunday slate, 1 o'clock, Giants at the Falcons. I'm going to take the Falcons to Michael Penix's first true game, but Giants waved the white flag a month ago, guys. Okay, they're not winning another game this year. This point, they're just tanking. Cardinals and the Panthers. I'm going to take the Cardinals. Don't love the way they're playing. I don't think they're a very good football team. And Carolina, overall, they've been more competitive down the stretch, but they also just got blown up by Dallas. They can't stop anybody. I'm going to take Arizona to squeak by. Lions, Bears. I'm taking the Lions. I get they have a zillion injuries, especially on defense, but the Bears are just horrible. Caleb Williams is horrible from the Lions. Titans, Colts, and Yikers. This is freaking mid-off up in here. I'll take the Colts. They've owned the Titans for a while now. The Titans are a soft team. Brian Kelly, I'm sorry. Your team is soft. I don't know what to tell you. Titans starting Mason Rudolph. Colts defense isn't good, but I'll take the Colts. Rams, Jets. Give me the Rams. I don't care if it just look good against the freaking Jaguars. One of the 4 team that's worse than the NFL. Whoop be damn do. Rams are playing some really good football. Give me the Rams. Eagles, Commanders. I'm going to take the Eagles. The Commanders, they haven't really beaten anybody, and I think that continues. Don't think they're going to be able to stop the Eagles. J.D. Daniels going to be sacked quite a few times. Browns and Bengals. Give me the Bengals. Jory Thompson Robinson is starting. That's all I need to know for the Browns in that one. For a 5 game. Vikings Seahawks should be a good game. I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings. Geno Smith, if he plays, he won't be 100%. Not sure if he's playing. If Sam Howell plays, their Seahawks are in trouble. Kenneth Walker looks like he's still going to be out. Though Charbonnet has played very well in his absence. Seahawks defense playing a little better, but the Vikings team is very good. Give me the Vikings. 425 Patriots Bills. Bills should win pretty easily. Blinds minus 14. That's a little high, but with now, the rumors going on that Kraft is fed up with Gerard Mayo. I'm not sure how that team is going to perform. The Bills should win by 2 scores, at least. Jaguars Raiders. Why? Why would you ever do this? Like, why? Put the game on Disney Plus. Don't even put it on Netflix or Peacock. Put it on like Disney Plus. It's for Jaguars, I guess. The Raiders might have the worst defense in the league. Mac Jones will make some fun plays. I don't know if they'll be good, but they'll be fun. And the Raiders quarterback is Desmond Ritter. The Jaguars defense is atrocious, but like this game is going to be another level of horrible that might actually be funny. 49ers, Dolphins. I'm gonna take the Niners. We got 2 teams that came with a lot of expectation and have underperformed. Niners have a ton of injuries, but the Dolphins are just a sinking ship right now. Two is not very good. Tyreek Hill's and La La Land. You give me the Niners. Something that football, Bucks and Cowboys. Bucks, please put this team out of their misery. Please. I want tired of the Cowboys trying to be. They overstood the hunt. Shut up. Put them out of their misery. You beat them, then they get eliminated. Just do it, please. They're going to come back up for 4 yards in this game, by the way, because that Cowboys defense is terrible and their secondary is hurt. Monday Night Football, Saints Packers. Give me the Packers. Out, even though the Saints are starting. Packers have a good defense. The line, I think it's like minus 16. They might actually cover that. This game is not going to be close. Packers should win that game. No problem. That's all I got for you guys today. Until next time, so long. Have a great day.